What's up, Pizzaholics? Behind me is the new Zazzy's. Zazzy's, guys, that's right, Zazzy's. Greenwich Village, New York City. I'm excited for this one. Let's go eat. So this place is brand new, brand spanking new. I'm not sure exactly how new, but it's new. It's the second location. There's one also close to Scar's Pizzeria in the Lower East Side. I wanted to go and try this place because it looks like it's just my style. Artisanal, kind of like a Neapolitan, New York style hybrid. That's what I love. That's what I always look for. And the owner even admitted it. The owner of Zazzy's admitted his goal when engineering his pizza was to create a New York style Neapolitan hybrid. And it sure looks like one, guys. All right, guys, let's dig in. This one looks really ripe for the taking. Nice and crackly. Looking good, looking good. Nice char. Got some dark brown char. I wouldn't really call this char. Cooked in an electric oven, guys. Electric. That seems to be the trend nowadays. I can smell that Parmesan cheese. This has the makings of being my style all the way, just from looks alone. There is so much grated Grana Padano on this slice. Parmigiana, or I think it's Grana Padano cheese. A lot of it. A lot of it. It's not exactly light. It's not as light as I thought it would be. Not exactly a light pizza. Is that airy enough for you guys? But it's not like 00 airy. Go check out my Angelo's review from Angelo's from Philadelphia and compare the bounce. See how it doesn't really... It's not 00 bouncy. As airy as this looks, it's not as light as I feel like it should be. The crust is just not as light as I feel like it should be based on the looks and all those air pockets. By the way, you can't leave Zazzy's without their house-made hot Calabrian chili oil, pepper oil. Extra virgin hot Calabrian pepper-infused olive oil. All right, guys, what do you say we move right on in? Put the pizza into the lab under the microscope. Time to analyze Zazzy's standard cheese pizza. This is their signature pizza. They make it this way, standard. And that comes with a ton of grated cheese. The Parmesan cheese melted. But you can see some of it there on the basil. You see that? See the Parm? It's actually Grana Padano. Correct me if I'm wrong. It may be Grana Padano. Again, do your own research. Do your own research. Sometimes I may get certain things wrong about a slice, whether it's pecorino or parm. So do your own research. I think it's Grana Padano, if I recall correctly from the YouTube videos. What I do recall is that the owner wanted to make a Neapolitan and New York style hybrid. This reminds me of Le Industry in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, with that thick cornicione. It's airy, but it's also got a lot of chewiness. It's really chewy. That crust is really chewy, and it's not on par with, let's say, Mama's 2. Go check out my Mama's 2 review up on the Upper West Side. That was a cornicione, man. That was light. That pizza weighed like half of this. Same thing goes for La Industry in Williamsburg. And the same thing goes for Manero's in Little Italy, which is a similar style pizza. This style of pizza is becoming really popular lately here in New York City. Really popular. It's that hybrid style. I got the crispy first bite, so that's a plus. Electric oven, so you're not getting that char, you know. I'm not crazy about these electric ovens, but they're convenient, supposedly. Oh, kudos on their wax paper. Kudos. No, I will not factor that wax paper into the final score of this review, but it's worth mentioning. Love that red checkerboard tablecloth-like, old school New York diner-like tablecloth style pattern. So on to the rest of the pizza. That grated cheese, man, it's going to add points. But I'll tell you what's going to deduct points. The amount of sauce on this pizza. Maybe it's the slice. The other slice was also lacking sauce. As a matter of fact, just look at the pictures that I included in this video in the beginning. It needs more sauce. It's a shame because that sauce is so good. I'm not sure if it's San Marzano, but it sure tasted like really good sauce, man. Naturally sweet, delicious sauce, but not enough of it. Not enough of it, man. Not enough. Also, on a side note, an extremely salty pizza. And I'm not complaining, but I'm just letting you guys know. All that Parmesan, see that crust of sharp Parmesan cheese? It's salty. It's salty. So I'm just letting you guys know. If you got to watch your salt intake, just know that this thing is a salty pizza. Even though the sauce and cheese doesn't really go to the edge like a typical thin crust or typical New York style, what these large cornichones do, what they serve a purpose, and that's to let you guys know just how good the bread is, just how quality the crust is. And so you get to taste the bread at the end, just the bread, and you get to savor and appreciate the quality of it. It's about that time, guys. The pizza gets cold. We give it another fold. Really curled up too. Does it retain its crisp after cooling down? The strange thing about this crust is that it starts out crispy, but it gets less crispy towards the back, which is the opposite of most pizzas. In most pizzas, they start out soggy and they crisp up towards the cornicione, towards the back. You know, in the past, in New York, the reason why they put oregano in the sauce was because they couldn't really find quality tomato sauce out here that matched the tomatoes in Italy. So they would try to flavor it up with oregano. That's where that whole oregano thing started here in New York. It's because they just, you know, when the Italians came here, they were like, hey, what's with these tomatoes? They don't taste as good as the tomatoes we had over there. Let's put some herbs and shit in the sauce to give it some flavor, some, you know. Of course, those days have changed. We got good tomatoes now here. All right, guys, what are we going to score it? Let's score it. The dough needs a little bit of work, and they got to put more sauce on this thing. So 7.8, man. 7.8 for Zazzy's. A little let down. I was expecting bigger things from Zazzy's. Everybody's talking about them. If anything, order it with extra sauce. Hey, you can. Got to get a pie, though. Anyways, guys, that's it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe. I really would appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. I hope you enjoyed this one. I sure did. Until next time, this is Antonio signing off.